Hey, welcome back. I'm Stephanie from Immersive Spirit with your astrological insights, and I need you to actually pay attention this week because it's not a normal week. I've been doing this a while now. I look at the sky every single week and I tell you what's coming. And most weeks I'm like, okay, there's some intensity here, there's some beauty there, or here's how to navigate it. This week I just kind of sat with the data and I had to kind of stop for a second because two things are happening that don't happen very often, at least at the same time, and they're happening within 3 days of each other. Friday, a planet called Chiron, which is our wounded healer, moves into a brand new sign for the first time since 2018. Then Sunday, the summer solstice arrives in our northern hemisphere. It's our longest day of the year as the sun moves into Cancer. So, two massive thresholds in the same week. And I want to ask you something right at the top before we get into any of the astrology. Where in your life have you been fighting to exist? Pushing, striving, proving yourself, but you haven't actually let yourself rest there yet. Like you won the argument, but you're still bracing for the next one because that's what this week is about. The fighting is starting to shift. The healing is moving into our body. And the sky is asking, can you finally stop bracing and just start belonging? So let's get into it. We're going to start with our biggest ones of the week. Chiron is called the wounded healer. And not because it's dramatic. I mean, it heals both yourself and others, right? But because it shows you where you carry old pain. And it shows you how that exact pain becomes your greatest wisdom when you stop running from it. For the past 7 years, Chiron has been in Aries. Aries, this is the sign of self, of identity, of the fight. So for 7 years, the collective wound, so all of us, has been about, do I have the right to be who I am? To want what I want, to take up space. Sound familiar? Now that chapter's closing, and Chiron moves into Taurus at 3:20 p.m. on Friday. It's the sign of the body, of the earth, of slowness and sensation and what we actually value. And the question completely changes for us. It's not, do I have the right to fight for myself anymore? It's, do I have the right to stay, to receive, to feel at home in the body? And that's a different wound. And for a lot of us, honestly, it's a deeper one. So I want to hear from you in the comments. Has the last 7 years felt like a fight to prove yourself? And what would it mean to finally put that fight down? The summer solstice then is on Sunday at 2:24 a.m. It's our longest day here in the northern hemisphere. And then we start turning inward. The sun moves into Cancer, which is our sign of home and emotional depth, and it almost immediately reaches toward Chiron and Taurus. Like they're greeting each other. Like the sky is saying the healing and the homecoming are the same thing. Cancer season asks us, what is home to you? Not the building, but the feeling, the belonging inside your own skin. Wednesday, we have an honest moment because before we get to Friday and Sunday, we have to talk about it because Wednesday's the peak of the week emotionally. It's the planet Venus, which is love, beauty, self-worth. And then there's Pluto, which is transformation, kind of that what's hidden beneath, but ultimately transformation. And on Wednesday at 2:38 p.m., they face each other directly across the sky in what we call an opposition in astrology. And the moon is sitting right next to Venus when this happens. So here's what I want you to understand about this. Pluto's not mean. It's not out to ruin your Wednesday or the middle of your week. What it does is find the gap between what you've been performing and what you're actually feeling. And then it surfaces it. So on Wednesday afternoon, you might find yourself suddenly honest in a way that you just weren't planning. It's a conversation that goes much deeper than expected. Or you notice something about a relationship or how you're showing up in your creative life or what you've been asking for versus, what you've been letting yourself receive. And you can't look away from that anymore. That's not a bad day. That's clarifying. So don't manage it. Just let it be real, right? No smoothing it over, any of that. Just let it be. So let's get into our day by day for the week ahead, right? So the moon slides into Cancer first thing in the morning. That's 6:14 a.m. And the emotional field's going to open wide up. If Monday feels tender or more emotional than usual, that's exactly where it's supposed to be. You're not overreacting. The sky is just asking you to feel. The afternoon brings a surprise. Venus and Uranus connect at 4:52 p.m. and something unexpectedly good touches your heart. It's a conversation that opens a door, a flash of desire you didn't see coming, a moment of maybe delight from out of nowhere. Just let it in. Our highs for Monday is that sense of emotional rightness in the morning, The surprise spark of delight late afternoon. Our lows, we could have a little midday fog, feelings that resist naming, maybe boundaries that feel a bit blurry. The tone overall for Monday, it's soft and tender with an afternoon moment of unexpected joy and aliveness. So comment below, but I'd love to know, what does emotional mean to you? Do you tend to go toward your feelings or do you tend to go away from them? Would love to hear. On Tuesday, June 16th. So this is a quieter day for us, but it has a sharp edge to it. So around midday, two bodies meet in the sky that basically perform kind of a sacred audit for us. Vesta, our asteroid of devotion, and Saturn, which is our planet of what's real and what's just habitual, right? So the question they're asking together is not subtle. What are you actually devoted to right now? And is that still true? This is not what you say you're devoted to. It's what your time and actually your energy will prove out that you're devoted to. And that's uncomfortable. It's also very useful information. By evening, Venus and Neptune connect and everything softens. Music feels more meaningful. Beautiful things feel more present around you. You just see everything. Love feels more tender. The hard question of the afternoon gives way to something just luminous. Our highs is that moon Mercury conjunction in the afternoon, and it's feelings finding words. The Venus Neptune in the evening. Then our lows, we have that midday Vesta Saturn question, right? It makes us uncomfortable, but it is ultimately very clarifying. Saturn's here to teach. Tone overall is heavy in the morning, clarifying at noon, but luminous by night. Hi, I'm Stephanie from Immersive Spirit. I hope you're enjoying this week's Astrological Insights podcast. If you find that these dates resonate for you, or you just love astrology, I would love to book a reading with you and just explore your own chart. Whether it's a particular location you're interested in, whether it's looking at transits that are coming for you in the future and how there's certain dates that might align better than others, or maybe it's just knowing more about that beautiful space that you were born into and exactly how the stars aligned just for you at your time of birth. I would be honored to speak with you. Head to immersivespirit.com and look for our services. You'll find several options there waiting for you, and I'll be excited to talk with you and dig into your astrological chart. Now, back to our podcast. Then Wednesday, June 17th. So we've already covered the big one before, with Vesta opposite Pluto at 2:38 p.m. So don't manage it, just let it surface. What I didn't mention was the night before, like really early morning, actually, 1:40 a.m. on Wednesday morning, that moon meets Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter is all about expansion and abundance. In Cancer, that goes straight into our emotional life. So if you wake up in the middle of Wednesday night feeling inexplicably full, grateful, or maybe weepy, kind of in a good way, or just very aware of how much you love your life, even when it's hard, that's a good transit. It's I mean, it's working great for you, right? That's awesome. Let it be. Morning in Leo feels warm and creative. It's a good day to just make something. Then the afternoon arrives with honesty. You already know what to do. The highs, we have that moon, Jupiter, and Cancer overnight with emotional brightness and warmth. Then the warm Leo morning. Lows, we have that Venus opposite Pluto at 2:38 p.m. It's not bad. It's just honest and it could be very intense. Tone overall is expansive, moving into clarity. And it's really the week's emotional hinge point for us. On Thursday, June 18th. This one's simpler, and I love that. Love simple. The crescent moon, the glowing silver of light after a new moon. It rises in Leo. The crescent phase is about desire, about saying, here is what I am building. Here is what I want. Leo doesn't whisper. Leo doesn't qualify. So whatever you've been sort of half wanting, half admitting to yourself, Thursday is the day to say it out loud, even just to yourself, even just in your journal. What are you building right now? What do you actually want your life to look like? Write it down, say it out loud. That's the practice. Evening brings some friction. You might feel impatient about something that's moving slower than you'd like. That's normal. Just trust the pace. Our highs overall, we have crescent moon intention energy, right? Name what you want. Then the moon trine Saturn steadiness in the morning. Our lows, we have moon square Mars at 8:33 p.m. So impatience, frustration, maybe some slow progress. The tone overall is declarative, and building. So name what you want and trust the pace. Friday, beautiful morning. The moon and sun are in easy conversation early, and there's a lightness, almost like the sky is giving you a breath of fresh air before something important happens. And then at 3:20 p.m., we have that Chiron entering Taurus that we've already talked about. Told you what it meant, but I want to mark the moment because it deserves to be marked. This is the day the wound moved into the body. This is the day the healing stopped being about fighting to prove yourself and started about learning to stay. If you feel something shift on Friday afternoon, a softening, a heaviness, a sense that something ended and something else quietly began, that's real. You're not imagining it. So give Friday evening to yourself, something slow, something nourishing. Let your body have a say in how the night goes. Our highs, we have Chiron entering Taurus at 3:20 p.m. It's a threshold worth honoring. It's beautiful. We also have a really easy morning start. The lows, some mental restlessness in the early afternoon. The nervous system is sensing that shift before it really arrives. The tone overall, though, is graceful in the morning. It's ground shifting in the afternoon, and then we're quiet in the evening. And you're going to love this. Saturday, June 20th, no major transits in the sky. The sky is completely still. After this week, a enormous gift, an enormous gift. Get my English correct. Don't fill it. Don't optimize it. Just rest. Eat something good, take a walk, listen to music, dance. Let the week's energy land inside you rather than immediately moving on to that next thing. Integration is real and it requires space. Saturday, that's your space. Our highs, it's the stillness itself. It's a rare gift after a week of a high amplitude energy. The lows, none. The sky's quiet. We love it that way, right? The tone overall is just rest. That's it. Rest. Sunday, June 21st, happy solstice. 2:24 a.m. that sun enters Cancer and solstice arrives. It's the longest day for those in the northern hemisphere and the shortest day with the winter solstice for our southern hemisphere friends. For us in the north, we now begin to turn inward. From here, we follow the light as it begins its journey toward the interior. Cancer season is asking, what does home feel like? Not what does it look like, but feel like. Morning is genuinely nourishing. The moon in Virgo makes good, practical connections, and there's a quality of clarity and groundedness to the early hours. At 3:55 p.m., that first quarter moon rises in Libra. This is the decision point in the lunar cycle. The moment where you ask, am I actually choosing to build what I said I wanted to build, right? As we think about our new moon to that crescent moon to where we are in that first quarter. It's not perfectly, it's just choosing. Then the evening is going to carry a longing quality to it, some questions about belonging and commitment that float up maybe near midnight for those that are still awake. Now remember, all times here are Mountain Daylight Time. You don't have to answer them, just let those questions sit. Let them be felt. Our highs on Sunday, overall Cancer solstice energy at 2:24, Sun sextile Chiron in the morning, first quarter moon in Libra at 3:55 p.m. Our lows, we have Venus opposite Juno retrograde at 11:40 p.m. Creates a relational longing and some unanswered questions about belonging. Tone overall, though, is homecoming, right? It's tender, it's grateful, it's beginning to turn inward. So the solstice question I have for you is, what does home mean to you right now? And are you living there? Oh, something to think about. All right. So if we zoom out, here's the thing I keep coming back to. We spend so much energy fighting to be allowed to exist, to have preferences, to take up space, to want things. And that's been the work of the last 7 years, really the last several years as a collective. But there's another layer underneath the fight. And it's the part that says, okay, I've won this round. I proved my right to be here, but do I actually trust that it's safe to stay, to receive, to let myself be held? That's your Chiron in Taurus. And that's what this week is opening for us. So you don't have to have the answer. You just have to be willing to feel the question in your body rather than solve it in your head, because that's really the whole practice. And before I go, I genuinely want to know. So drop in the comments, what's landing for you this week as you progress? Where in the body are you feeling most home? And where are you still keeping yourself at arm's length from your own life? I read every single comment, and this week especially, I really want to hear from you. All right, that's it for this amazing week ahead. I am Stephanie with your astrological insights from Immersive Spirit. And until next week, stay grounded and keep looking up.